Bulletcast for life.
Doggy Charles. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. The microphone messiah. Yeah. It's the microphone messiah. And Mr. No Days Off. Microphone messiah. Mr. No Days Off. Phil Brandon, what's good, y'all? Let's go. Bulletcast host. Look, this is the time for us to be great on podcasts. Let you know this is the time and how the vibe lasts. This is the feeling of time and when we on it. You know we got no time for no opponent, just the feeling. This is the time of the greats on everything that we say. You know we about getting paid. Every opinion of wrestling. You know we got the truth in it. Every time you know that we on, this is the movement. You know the Bullet Pass podcast been on. You know the time we on, the feeling. This is the time of dealing. We living life of everything that we feel is moving right. West Coast, you know we moving on. Metaphor Messiah, Microphone Messiah. You know the down.
Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, the Microphone Messiah. We are back to run it back for another episode of the Bulletcast. What's going on, man? A man of many names. Got a lot of stuff to do this weekend. Big weekend. Got some wrestling going on. We're going to talk about it at the end. Or we're going to talk about the whole show. What am I talking about? I'm joined by the Canadian Destroyer, BT, Mr. Brandon Tanguma. What's up, man?
What's up, everyone? Welcome back Thursday. Hopefully, no technical difficulties this week.
No, we back and we booming. Business.
No hot spots this time.
No. I was in an undisclosed location. It wasn't at my my humble abode, so I had to hotspot it. That's what was going on. I wish I had the video for y'all, but I can't disclose it. It's undisclosed information. Come on now, stop playing with me.
Yeah, he disclosed it to me, and if I told you guys, he'd kill me, or someone would kill me. I don't know who. But.
Hey, I know I'm in the mafia, but chillax. You're the Canadian Destroyer, Brandon. I have something to tell you.
What is that?
One of the students on my team, on my wrestling team. By the way, shout out my wrestling team, Mount Eden High, beat San Lorenzo High last night, 44-12. Yeah.
I mean, San Lorenzo. That doesn't mean anything. Everyone beats San Lorenzo.
We're wrestling a Royal next week.
Okay, that's a real test.
We've already wrestled Castro Valley and Tennyson. Lost both of those. Lost Alameda last night, but we took one against SLZ. We got Arroyo and San Leandro next week, and then the following week is what Hayward and Berkeley. All the schools in our league. Yeah, it's a lot. But the point of this was one of my kids on my team is Canadian. He's from Canada.
Ugh.
You leave Agam. I told him, I'm his Canadian brethren, but I'm honorary Canadian. I had to let him know what we do over here, man. I was coaching him. I was like, hey, come on, Agam, let him know what you're all about. No, I had to make him feel it, had to channel something. Almost got the job done. But look, I gave him a little bit more Canadianness. He would have won. Yeah. Yeah, okay, all right. Outside the ring. Corey Graves is back on NXT. He was tweeting some tweets last week. Says he's back where he wants to be now. Hey now. What do you feel about this?
Is this what dreams are made of?
Come on now. Hey, Oasis Pro presents Dreams this Saturday. Hello. You see?
Anyways, I talked about the Corey Graves situation last week. I still think maybe it's a shoot that's turned into a work. Phillip did not give his thoughts on the whole situation. So what do you think about Corey Graves getting replaced by the famous Pat McAfee and the quote-unquote, inexperienced Wade Barrett?
Oh, well, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. It works. It works up there, man. It works with Tessitore and Barrett on Raw. They were having fun. They were grooving. Them on SmackDown is going to be fine. Through the rise of the bloodline, beside everything that they did, besides the Samantha Irvin introduction, the commentary, the play-by-play by Michael Cole, and the color by Pat McAfee, the Dead, it just made it made it all work, man. I mean, come on. I mean, when we think about those key Roman Reigns matches, they're on the call. So them carrying Raw and WWE into this new era, this Netflix era. I don't know if you heard, we have a new era, another new era, the new era.
That will cost you an extra $2 a month now.
It's great, but I mean, you remember Booker and Corey Graves got history. Remember they had that worked online beef a couple years ago. So I thought maybe they will play into that while he's down there. Maybe Vic Joseph has to kind of be like, "Hey guys, hey," you know. I mean, Booker. I mean, apparently Corey Graves is cleared to wrestle. Supposedly, Booker just wrestled Zilla, so you never know, man.
Never know. I mean, it seems like Corey Graves is back. Maybe there'll be some like, little jabs here and there. And I do wonder like if it is like a shoot, quote unquote. Booker T, Booker T, we all love him around here. He has a tendency to be saying some dumb stuff and be saying some stuff down there in NXT. I wonder how much patience Corey Graves has for that. If he is very frustrated.
I mean, we will find out. We will. This I saw this rumor going around: Reigns, Rhodes, and Punk versus KO, McIntyre, and Rollins. Somebody talked about that being a Saturday night's main event. When's the next one? I know we got one on Saturday. One is there one in March? That could be
Maybe.
given how the Rumble and the Chamber work out. That could be something. Do we don't know?
Well, we're trying to figure it out here. We're going on the Wikipedia. We're seeing what's going on here.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right. No hot spots over there, huh? No?
Currently, we only, at least on the Wikipedia page, we only have something scheduled for the 25th. I would assume maybe on Saturday, when the next one happens, we will get an announcement for when the next one happens.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, but I mean that would be a hell of a Saturday night's main event. I mean, think about it. All these guys are intertwined. They all have history with each other. Everything that Reigns and McIntyre, the cost of the biggest moment. Rollins and Reigns, Shield stuff. The Punk and Rollins, the Punk and McIntyre, KO and Cody, and then Roman and Cody, and then oh my God, just Rhodes and Punk. Two guys that came from the rival competition and were the final two in the Rumble. I mean, a lot is right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a intriguing matchup. It's a 6-man tag with a whole bunch of stars. So even though maybe the result doesn't matter too much, just the personality dynamics leading into it and in the match itself could carry for a main event. Because, you can't have these like title matches always happen because you can clearly see they're saving like the title matches, like the big ones, for not Saturday night's main event. Like we're getting, Jey Uso and Gunther, we're getting another Rhea Ripley Nia Jax match. So, if they're going to be more SNMEs, then we're probably going to get some of these like mega tag matches or mega singles matches.
And then the Punk and KO, that's one that I'm looking forward to. Eventually, when we get there, when Punk came back, KO didn't really have nothing to say to him. And then he may have something to say to him now if he teams with Roman Reigns again.
And Rollins being on the heel side, quote unquote, does raise some eyebrows, especially what happened at the end of Monday night. If there's going to be some sort of character development, or if it was just something to build the Royal Rumble. I do wonder what that leads to, if anything.
Oh, absolutely. Ricky Starks denied AEW release.
From the Department of Shocker.
Nobody is. But did you see Ray Phoenix post the straight jacket photo?
Yeah, things are going great over there.
Hey man, so there's something else. Look, there's one thing I know for a fact that happened in AEW that I cannot talk about on air. I'm surprised the dirt sheets haven't even talked about that yet. I haven't seen any inkling of that. No talk about it. Everything gets revealed over there. How does that not?
Well, maybe there's a mole afoot, and maybe this certain mole didn't hear about this incident. But I mean, yeah, like the whole Ricky Starks situation, it's been going on for like a year now. Because he was at the Royal Rumble last year, and that was a big deal. And then he got in the little kerfuffle thing with Copeland, and then that. Anyways, but like obviously, like we kind of expected something like this to happen, and then like I guess it finally came out that he requested a release and it got declined. So I mean, just put him right there with Malachi Black. Maybe Rusev. I don't know what the hell he's doing these days. Just people kind of, sorry, Miro, waiting out the contracts to for it to end. So yeah, but we got a new name added to the possible gone from AEW camp, and that's Britt Baker.
DMD.
My boy Wade Keller reported last week that there's been some, people, especially the women's locker room, not exactly the biggest fans of Britt Baker. If you guys remember, we did have that incident with Britt and MJF, which didn't, it happened, but it didn't like put too much heat on either one of them. It was just kind of something that happened, but I think it was just kind of like a, another thing, another incident with Britt that made people like not like her. And I guess, she had the match with Mercedes Moné at Wembley, and I don't think she's really been seen on TV since. And it looks as though she might be gone from the company. There was, a rumor that she's looking for WWE, which she shot down, but, um, and the whole Adam Cole thing, that doesn't have anything to do with it. Just another person, honestly, like she had her moment in the COVID years with the Thunder Rosa match and stuff like that, but she never was able to kind of evolve and get to that next level. So it's not like a shock that she's kind of sputtered out in 2025 because she was
What
really
next
good when the
level?
women.
She was the champ.
Well, I mean, like, elevating her character and some of the matches she had. Because, like, when she was the champion, she was like the top person, the AEW women's division, rightly so. We were kind of bagging on it. Like, it wasn't that great. But now you look around and there's a lot more talent in that women's division. And she just kind of got left in the dust.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's you're not wrong. Not wrong. I mean, high on the Britt Baker of it all when she was doing her thing. I mean, it was good. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, just never. I mean, she's a dentist. She'll be all right. Like, she'll be cool. Yeah, practices dentistry. Uh, man, and then Alexa Bliss returned canceled.
Yeah, apparently Marlee was supposed to be in the building and see the return of Alexa Bliss, allegedly, that she was supposed to come back on Raw last week with the White Six, which we didn't talk about that, of just carrying across nonchalantly saying like, oh yeah, they're just on SmackDown now. So the White Six not on Raw anymore. The whole Miz thing kind of scrapped. Alexa Bliss not coming back. Seems like there's no real plans for her to come back and
I
not to be associated with the Wyatts at all.
don't think we need her with the Wyatts. Like, can we get to 5 Feet of Fury, Alexa Bliss? Like, I was listening to a podcast. Shout out Bell, Before the Bill podcast, Clayton Thompson, all of them. Look, man, I really loved Alexa Bliss. Like, 5 Feet of Fury, the SmackDown first person to ever be SmackDown and Raw Women's Champion, by the way. Just snarky attitude, and bro, like there were times when I was going to Chabot. It's probably I didn't get a degree. I'd be in a class and I'd be watching like a recap, and Alexa Bliss would come on, and I'd have to have it on mute, her promo. But I felt the emotion because of her facials and everything. Like, and she brought importance back to the DDT. And DDT was her finisher, and she was winning championships and knocking these ladies out with it, man. Bring back Alexa Bliss. I mean, her and Lyra Valkyria for the women's IC, that can be cool. I think Alexa and Dakota Kai can do some good business. If you want to have a face off, Alexa and Mommy or Alexa and Liv, come on now.
You know me, I love me some Alexa Bliss, with all due respect. And I agree with you. I don't think like the White thing is something I want to see her do. I kind of want to see her go more back to like a human grounded character. Because I think that was always like her better work, whether it was a face or a heel.
What?
I didn't think people like her, so I think maybe she's better suited as a babyface.
Alexa and Tiffany, Battle of the Mean Girls.
Maybe, but
We can revisit Alexa and Nia.
I'd like to ask for a point on the whole White Six situation because everyone once again was like, "Oh, this is gonna be change the world and it's gonna be great." And I once again said, "Yeah, I don't think this stuff works in wrestling." And we're here, what, 6 months, 8 months later, and they're nowhere to be seen on television.
Do you think if Bray was around, it would be different?
I mean, if Bray was around, maybe they get more TV time just because of who he is, but I don't know. I feel like put them in the same categories like Braun Strowman, just like they don't need to be on TV all that much, but just, well, I would say put them on the live stream on the house shows, but they don't do house shows anymore, so that you can't really do that because I feel like they're a good house show act, maybe not a great TV act.
You can bring them out you can use them like maybe 8 times a year.
But the thing is, like, they're such a huge group, and they're like, it's not like the House of Black or like some of these other groups where it's like there's individual acts within. They're all just kind of together, and so they already ran through.
Like, you could have. I think you could do like a tag team act with like Loomis and Gacy. And then, obviously Bo will have some single stuff. And then you can use Eric Redbeard on occasion.
I will say Nikki Cross is, I think, by far the most talented person in that group, and just her kind of withering away in her later prime years is kind of sad to see.
Remember the Sanity? Oh God. Those are good times. Sanity Nikki Cross.
Like I feel like if Nikki Cross, like if you want to have the White Six together, cool. But like if Nikki Cross just like had this type of character as a singles act in the women's division, yeah, maybe it might be a little kooky and a little over the top, but I think she can make it work.
I mean, she was Nikki ASH.
We know how much I love that character.
Hey, it was her idea, man.
Oh, so it's okay for dumb ideas if it's the person's idea.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No fan mail this week. SmackDown. Jacob Fatu's promo. Solo comes out there. Silent Solo, which is the name of this episode. Come on now. Doesn't even say a word. Takes off the red coat. Takes off the weekend coat and just walks away. And I love how Jake finally got a mic, man. Like really got a mic out there in front of the people. Turned the what into a huh chant. Like you thought we was finished, huh? Scary thing is, I'm just getting started. Like I love that, man. Somebody was like, oh, you can hear the pain in this man's voice. He done been through some shit. Yeah, man. And then the Braun Strowman of it all, just like, whoa, okay. What are your thoughts on all that, man?
Yeah, Fatu finally kind of getting the spotlight in terms of like an in-ring microphone segment was intriguing with Solo, going away. And I wonder, obviously Solo has a spot, but he's not like, I don't think the top guy that Jacob could be. So maybe they're moving in that direction of like a power struggle between Fatu and Solo. I don't know. But if that's kind of maybe the case, we go towards that for WrestleMania. That could be a possibility. And then Braun Strowman and Fatu was the match. I mean, obviously, the big meaty man bump of meat is going to get over with the crowd. I do like on the negative side, putting Fatu, who is a monster, who is a killer that people really get into, going up against Braun Strowman, who is visibly so much bigger than Fatu, could kind of hurt his aura a little bit. But I think Jacob is just so imposing, and he's gonna do some stuff with him on Saturday that's probably not gonna matter. But I would kind of try to keep away Fatu from like the really tall guys in WWE.
It's good. Jake gonna go out there and do what Jake do best. Come on now, stop playing with him. And the power struggle that you were just talking about, and how I can see Jake being a bigger star than Solo. It's a lot. It's a lot that's going on right now. We just gotta wait and see. And Tama Tonga, he'll be okay because all he got to do is shh. Yeah. I mean, less is more in this game. Come on now.
Yeah, just gotta wait for his boy to come back, and the Girls of Destiny can get the tag titles again.
Yes. Jimmy Uso, Big Jim is him, comes out there with Carmelo Hayes, and they cooking in that ring, man, until the DQ happened.
Good match, crap finish, which is a theme with Triple H's booking in WWE. Good action, and it's all for nothing. Not exactly like they're protecting Carmelo Hayes either. But I don't really know what they're doing with Jimmy either, so who knows?
We're going to start this rise. That's what we're going to do. Tiffany beats Bayley clean, retains. It's Tiffy time.
I enjoyed the Bayley interview in the arena. The Tiffy interview was okay. Match stuff I thought was good. Having Tiffy beat someone clean was, I thought, a good idea. And obviously with Bayley leaving the territory, got to do your job on the way out, brother. But I do feel like they have bundled the Tiffy. I don't even know what it is, because it's like she kind of turned against Nia, but it's not like a full-fledged babyface turn, because she attacked her from behind and then cashed in on her, and then she goes up against Bayley, who's a babyface, but she's not like the best babyface. And so then is Tiffy a heel? Do people like her? It's like I feel like she's not well defined, and it's just kind of a mess right now.
Yeah, and then you got Charlotte coming back.
Yeah, she's coming back, and maybe, like I said, maybe she's wins the Royal Rumble. Maybe it is Tiffy and Charlotte battle of the blondes, and who knows? Well, I think I know who Brian's gonna face.
I tried to get him on the
was
show
Brian a Tiffy guy?
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I tried to get him on the show this week to talk about it.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah. Oh God. Yeah. You want to go? You want to go? Inside the ring now?
Sure.
Not that sure. So,
Step in between those ropes for the
United
squared circle.
United Japan Pro Wrestling is the thing now. Um, yeah, it's basically all the companies in Japan. All Japan, Big Japan Pro, DDT, Dragon Gate, uh, Genabre, Kyushi, New Japan, Pro Wrestling Noah, Stardom, and then Tokyo Joshi Pro. So yeah, all these companies are together now.
We've seen some joint ventures with these Japanese shows. But as I keep saying, these co-promotion shows and co-promotion endeavors are all fun and ideas, but then someone's got to win and someone's got to lose. And it's fine if, the top guy is facing a mid-carder in every match, but that doesn't really get the people going if that's the case. So we'll see what happens.
It's okay. You're gonna. Oh, who's the top guy in Japan now? What? Zack Saber?
I mean, he's the guy that has the biggest title, so I would say so.
Okay, then you do ZSJ versus what's the second biggest one? What Noah, right? Do ZSJ versus the top guy from Noah. Like you can make it big. You can do the top guy in DDT versus the top guy in Dragon Gate, and then so on and so forth. The top person from the one Joshi company versus the other one.
And then what's the finish? So you
Well,
just pin him clean in the middle of the ring?
you can have. I think if you have like two of the not so biggest ones go over the other big, like if you have the Dragon Gate guy beat the Noah guy, I think you'd be cool. If you have the DDT guy beat the whatever the other one was, or the no, not the DDT, the other lesser company versus beats the DDT guy. You see what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. This is just very confusing, especially when you got so many people, so many
Like
hands
if
in the cookie jar.
you have the All Japan guy go over in his match. You have the New Japan guy go over in his match. And then if you kind of offset it, if you kind of make it an equal balance, then you'll be cool. It'd be like if the ring, it's basically the same company, but the Ring of Honor guy beats the AEW champ guy, it'd be okay, all right. And then obviously, like, the WWE champ would beat the TNA champ. You see what I'm saying? Kind of offset it a little bit.
And then we'll throw a GCW bone, and the GCW guy beats the NXT guy, but not Trick Williams.
It could come close, but the NXT guy gets the win. See what I'm saying?
And this is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it could work. It could work. You just gotta figure it out. TNA Genesis, that happened.
It did happen. Finally, Joe Hendry is the new Impact World Champion or TNA World Champion, whatever the hell the name is of it now is. So yeah, I mean, maybe a little late to the party. I don't feel like he's like as over as he was a few months ago, but
No,
still good to see. I mean, hard worker, got himself over. He's been a veteran for so long, but good for him. Would not be shocked if he gets a spot at the Rumble. Everyone I see is like, oh my God, when he goes to the Rumble, he's gonna get such a massive pop. I don't think that's the case. Like there will be a pop, but you have to remember there's be like 40, 50,000 people there. I don't think every single one of those people are going to know who Joe Hendry is in the first like 2 seconds of his theme song.
I believe in Joe Hendry. I'm gonna be there singing the song. No,
Wow, Phillip going to the Royal Rumble confirmed.
come on now. I can't go next year. We gotta go this one.
We also did have Tessa Blanchard take on Jordan Grace.
Yo,
Really good match. Kind of fell apart at the last 5 minutes, but
the she's a racist chants were crazy.
yeah, and that kind of did lead to the debacle of the finish. I don't know if it kind of got in their head, if in Tessa's head, or it just was going to happen regardless. But yeah, the she's a racist chant has gone around. This seems to be Jordan Grace's last time in TNA. Also, it looks to be Josh Alexander's last time in TNA.
No, I met Josh Alexander. Great guy. Love him. Love
Possibly.
the weapon. What?
I think the Jordan Grace one is much more permanent, or at least much more evident. And I do the bit with Jordan Grace, but like honestly, I do think she is like one of the most talented North American
Bro,
wrestlers
have you
for
seen the
like for a long time, and I still don't understand why neither top two company have signed her. Like the AEW thing, maybe a little bit because of her husband, but like I don't know why WWE hasn't grabbed her.
bro? Like, have you seen like her? She is jacked to the gills now. It is
And
crazy.
she's jacked. But there was a point a couple years ago when she was doing like bodybuilder stuff, which I think might have been that Brian Cage thing where she was too jacked, but she's kind of leaned up now a little bit to where she can still be
She
like the
looks
muscle.
so different from the All In match, the first one.
Yeah, she's not Mama Thickness anymore.
I mean, Jesus, Mama Muscle. I have to go check on something, but talk about the people versus GCW, huh? Or anything else from TNA Genesis you want to talk about? Oh,
What?
how the digital media champion wasn't there and he was destroying the title at GCW. Talk about that.
Yeah, that was one of the few things that I actually knew about the GCW show. Yeah, PCO had a match, I guess. I think it might be even been on the pre-show, but he had a match, and then after the fact, he is the digital media champion after all, which yes is a thing and still a thing. And he takes. You can watch the clip on Twitter, wherever you can find your clips at. He tries to smash the thing with a sledgehammer, misses a couple times, but then finally gets it done. And then cuts a promo about how he's like the most Luke. He's like sold the most T-shirts in TNA history, sold or not history, but sold TNA tickets and TNA shirts and stuff like that. And I think it's cut off. And Brett Lauderdale did a promo or not a promo, but a podcast and talked about how he didn't really know what was going on. And PCO goes on to Twitter and goes off and says some stuff. So I kind of put this more in the Corey Graves situation, maybe even more so, to where this is probably a work. Like my antennas are super up, but then I just don't know what this leads to because PCO is like a literal Frankenstein zombie character, and so he's going to be like the anti TNA guy. I just don't know what that means.
He's gonna be a Rougeau brother.
Well, now we got TNA and NXT working together. Maybe he gets in the time machine and he puts on whatever the hell the Rougeaus would wear back in the day.
Right. You never know. You never know. Yeah, that was crazy. And then of course, Alley Catch breaking her ankle. T's and P's going out to Alley Catch. I've met her, Allison, great person. Chill. Unfortunate, it really is. Hope she's okay. She's had the surgeries. Now it's the road to recovery.
Yeah, T's and P's. I think she raised like over $50,000 for her GoFundMe.
Already, it's wonderful.
Also speaking of GoFundMe's, I guess Chris Bay, RVD talked about it. Like we kind of knew this, but like I guess he did confirm like break his neck and was paralyzed. It was like a really big deal and a really scary situation. It seems like he's doing better, so that is nice to hear. Chris Bay's
Yeah,
doing much
that's my
better.
that's one of my dogs, man. I love Chris Bay. Love seeing him at shows. I love him, man. I'm glad he's doing well. Yeah, I wonder what's going on with his homie Shogun from Vegas. He was in a car accident. What almost what like 2 months ago or a month and a half ago now. I hope he's doing well. It was kind of like these two things happened kind of within a close proximity of each other. They're always at shows together. So I hope both bros are doing well and on the road to recovery to see them back in the ring and do what they do for real, for real. Christopher Daniels' final match.
Yeah, he had the Texas Death Match on Collision with Hangman Page, and hard hitting, bloody, maybe kind of escalated a little too quickly because like it's Christopher Daniels and Adam Page. Why are we having a Texas Death Match on a random Collision show? But yeah, it was a solid match, and all signs are pointing to this was the retirement match for Christopher Daniels. Nothing official, but there was backstage reports about him being emotional and it being the end. So you know, sad to see, kind of going out without much of a whimper. And they did follow up a little bit on Dynamite of Daniels getting in Hangman's face and saying that was he can't wrestle again, and Hangman reacting to that. So they're going somewhere with it, but all signs point to this Christopher Daniels in-ring career being over, which is which sucks, but he's up there and he's had a hell of a career, and he's kind of found his lane now as an agent backstage guy for AEW.
Absolutely. I mean, I love CD. Christopher Daniels, the Fallen Angel, Bad Influence, the tag team with Kazarian, and then SCU with Scorpio Sky. I mean, they did a lot of great stuff. I've met Christopher Daniels. Awesome dude. And from almost becoming the what was the higher power to going out with the Texas Death Match with Hangman Adam Page. Great career, man. The highest grossing what you call it, or biggest star rated match in what TNA history, the Unbreakable match with AJ and Samoa Joe.
Sure, sounds good. It's definitely one of the most famous matches of all time in that company's
Absolutely.
history.
Absolutely. Roman Reigns Tribal Chief ceremony on the 27th in Atlanta.
Yeah, I kind of like forgot this is happening because they did the thing on Netflix and it was clearly like just a promotion for the WWE 2K thing. So, I mean, this could just be a ceremony to reveal that he's the guy on the cover. But yeah, I don't even know if they were like I fast forward through stuff on Netflix and I hate that on Netflix you can't like see what you're fast forwarding through. So I'm kind of like flying blind. So I don't even know if they promoted this. But yeah, it'll be something.
Excuse me. Yeah. I mean, so I saw this online and I threw it on the Bulletcast feed so for y'all to check it out. It says The Rock says he's 20 steps ahead on the 7th of January 7th of NXT. Roman's next appearance is scheduled January 27th, 20 days after the 27th or the 7th. Guess which arena they're in on the 27th? The same arena where The Rock did the three fingers at Bad Blood. Think this means anything, man? I mean, no, they like to go deep on the internet. It's an interesting dive, it's an interesting take.
I mean, these people are just grasping at straws, looking for any rich reason for why The Rock's random appearances make any type of sense. And I will be very surprised if The Rock comes out next Monday, we cut an angle, and we get some sort of Machiavellian reasoning for why all this stuff has been happening.
That'd be dope. It would be
It
great.
would be great, but it's not gonna happen.
Uh, we would love to see, huh? We would love to see. All right, let's see what else we got here. Let's go to Monday Night Raw. Rollins defeated McIntyre. Got the get back from WrestleMania.
Yeah, solid match. You know, they promoted this as a WrestleMania main event to kind of give it a little extra juice and good match, long match. Then you know, Rollins gets the Rollins gets the win via roll up, but then for the heel to get his heat back, immediately attacks the babyface who won via roll up right after the fact. Definitely didn't happen earlier in the night with Mysterio and Kofi Kingston. That's neither here nor there. And then Sammy comes to make the save and accidentally kicks Rollins, and Rollins gives him a boo boo face. But if he were just to look back, watch the tape, he would clearly see that it is not an issue. So hopefully they do that next week, and you know the babyface Seth Rollins actually is smart and doesn't overreact to this. But if he does overreact, maybe Seth is turning heel, or they're just, as I said earlier, building tension for the Royal Rumble.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Sammy and KO promo. Huh? How do you this was good. I mean, KO not being mad that Sammy teamed with Roman was a little off-putting.
Yeah, I thought it was a good segment. When these two guys are in the ring together, it's always going to be really good, and they have so much history that they have great chemistry. Possibly setting up a WrestleMania match between the two, but you know they laid the groundwork for them being the WWE title match, but probably won't, and maybe that does lead to the non-title match because KO gets angry that Sammy didn't help him or Sammy didn't win the Rumble, so he kind of blames Sammy for everything when, you know, Kevin can't look himself in the mirror and blame himself. Also love the running bit of KO like changing his t-shirts and just having just amazing t-shirts every single week. He had the son of a Canadian system technician thing on Friday, and then he wore like a Rey Mysterio Hall of Fame shirt while he was wrestling Rey.
Yeah, I mean that was great. Yes, I forgot about that.
So I mean I do think we're gonna get a Sammy KO match at WrestleMania, and then maybe I just don't think Sammy gets involved at Saturday night's main event. Like maybe we get like a backstage segment, and KO like reminds him, but I don't think Sammy will do anything of
Okay.
note.
I see. Jay and Gunther promo, just another one to hype up the match. I mean, we can really just get into that when we get to Saturday night's main event. The CM Punk promo, continuing to talk about the Royal Rumble. He's he said he just started naming names. People going to the Rumble. Cena goes in. Roman he said if Hulk Hogan's dusty ass gets in the Royal Rumble, he'll throw him over the top and eliminate, kill Hulkamania forever. What'd you think of Punk's promo?
I thought it was a really good promo. It was, intense. It had, the different vibe of him being in the crowd. So it was, kind of a boring promo in terms of like what he was like saying, but the added energy from the crowd and kind of him getting fired up, I think added to it definitely. And the Hulk Hogan line was great, especially with it being inauguration day and Hulk Hogan looking, torn around like a goddamn show pony out there. He said some stuff on Monday, so just kind of pairing Hogan and what CM Punk did the same day was great. So, yeah, I thought it was good stuff.
It was cool, brother. Guess now we know why Steve Austin wasn't at the Netflix Raw. He had his knees replaced.
Yeah, T's and P's to my boy. Hey, maybe get those knees replaced. So you can hit some stunners.
Come on now. What? Uh, yeah, Nia Jax defeated Bailey. She'll challenge Rhea Ripley at Saturday night's main event. What did you think of the match? We won't talk about what happened after.
It was fine, I guess. Just putting some stuff on, putting some heat, getting some credibility behind Nia.
Yep. Penta defeated Pete Dunne. Another great contest.
Yeah, more of the same. Just a solid match. Nothing too much. I do wonder how much longer Penta does kind of lives in this realm of just kind of beating guys, and then we finally kind of get something for him to do.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Rey Mysterio defeated Kofi Kingston to get a little redemption after what happened to him on Friday. Kofi with the no mustache is killing me.
Yeah, another solid match. Like I said, Ray wins with the roll up, and then Kofi and Xavier immediately beat him up, and then the other two guys from LWO come to make the save, and them being like the first guys for New Day kind of defines maybe New Day down a little bit, but it's a clear feud for them to win because at this point New Day really haven't like gotten any wins. I feel like they've been losing a lot, so maybe finally give them something to do, and then maybe once I guess War Raiders already babyface tag team, they could go up against them and face the
What
tag
about the
titles.
Creed brothers? They want a shot. What was that? What was that? That piece of paper that Dominic gave Chad Gable. He's a great guy, but a mustache to match.
I don't know. I would assume it's probably going to set up some sort of like bit or some sort of like funny vignette where like Chad Gable does like training montages with like a luchador or like a masked guy who doesn't actually know too much about luchadors. I don't know. Like who I know. Now, hear me out. What happens if he gets trained from Mr. America?
Ah! I'd say the Patriot, but he's no longer with us. Oh Jesus. What do you get? Well, wasn't Kurt Angle the Conquistador? Boom, there you go. Oh man, talk about AEW.
Yeah, they were in Knoxville, Tennessee. Don't know exactly where they were, but it was another interesting venue, and this played into the opening segment with Omega and Osprey. They had an intense showdown. They weren't the best of friends, but once the Don Callis family came out, they kind of teamed up and took them out. Both Kenny and Osprey did backflips, or sorry, moonsaults off the. I don't even know what you call it, like they jumped off a very high place
Wasn't
and
like a ledge.
yeah, like I'm trying to like yeah, a balcony type. They did a backflip because like the floor seats were much lower than the first level of regular seating because it probably was some sort of like older venue, but cool visual. And then Osprey and Omega challenged Takeshita and Fletcher at Grand Slam, which is February 15th on a Saturday, which I forgot is getting
Man,
a lead in from the NBA All-Star, not the game, but I think like the skills or
I got a show that day. That's crazy.
So yeah, there you go. Good opening segment, Wild Brawl. I thought it was a fun start to the show and kind of showcase the different venue that AEW was in. Uh, Big news: Hurt Syndicate are your new AEW Tag
About
Team
damn
Champions.
time. The first time in his illustrious career, the almighty Bobby Lashley holds a tag team championship, and it's in AEW. I love it. I love the Hurt Syndicate. Great effing work. You love to see it. The smaller venue just made it look more intimate, made it look better. I love it.
Yeah, the private party tag team title experience, thankfully, is over. I think it was like a trickle down effect of this Young Bucks, takeover storyline, like not going anywhere because they were like, "Oh, okay, it's been 5 years since we upset the Young Bucks, so we'll get another tag title match." And then they ended up beating them, and they just didn't do anything with them. So I'm kind of glad that the Hurt Syndicate got this win and they can do something with it. Shout out Bobby Lashley. He was so happy, or I don't know what the case may be, but like he completely ditched his character and was just like high fiving like little girls in the front row. It was like a funny visual, but obviously probably not what you want for him to do. But yeah, shout out those guys. Congrats to Hurt Syndicate, and I'm hopefully, I know they might not be like the best in ring guys in the world in AEW, but maybe we can finally have the tag team division mean something.
It's about to be fantastic.
And continuing on, Philip has some words to say about not
Yo,
maybe this one, but last week. Jeff Jarrett and MJF continue to talk about each other.
I watched it. Yo, his mom's a call girl. Uh, his girl's doing 60 minutes with 10 guys in the back. I was just like, oh my God. Like 15, 20 years ago, oh yeah, you're gonna get a pop for saying all that. But now, nah, bro, you can't be doing that. Can't be doing that.
Yeah, and so Jarrett, I forget exactly what his. I don't think he like apologized for what happened last week, but this time as I said, they're in Tennessee, so a much more favorable crowd for Jeff Jarrett. So they were definitely behind Double J here, and just kind of continuing through down the gauntlet. And he's gonna face Claudio next week, and if he beats Claudio, then he gets a chance to face Moxley. I don't know. Is Moxley versus Jeff Jarrett going to be the Grand Slam main event? Oh God, I hope not. I'd be mad if I was those Australian fans over there. But yeah, and then MJF comes out, he cuts a promo, and people are like maybe reading too much into it of like MJF like being over AEW, or maybe he's just over feuding with Jeff Jarrett. Like I agree. Like if that's the case, I would not be very happy if I'm in my mid 20s in the prime of my career and I have to entertain 57-year-old Jeff Jarrett who's trying to get a world title opportunity because he's the carniest of the carnies. So yep, that's the MJF AEW or the MJF Jeff Jarrett situation. As you can tell, I'm a big fan of this.
Oh, I've been laughing for a minute. Oh boy. Oh boy. Jamie Hayter. Oh my God. Defeated Julia Hart. Julia Hart's not.
Yeah, and the House of Black, I guess, is no more. They did do a segment later on of them. So I just accidentally spilled water all over my fucking laptop. So hopefully I don't break anything, but figure that out. Um, yeah, Jamie Hayter and Julia Hart have a match. Jamie Hayter wins, so it's all tied up 1-1. And yeah, she did like the Will Ospreay promo of just like saying, "Girl, you don't need the other guys. You're good, and whenever we have our next match, I'll see you then." So yeah.
Wow.
Also, shout out my girl Harley Cameron. She finally got some good TV time on Dynamite, and
Whoa,
she cha
whoa.
she challenged Mercedes Moné to a title match, and Mercedes was like, "Yeah, you've never won a TV match, so no." So hopefully this is building to Harley Cameron like getting a win, and like I think it'd be great if Harley Cameron beat Mercedes Moné for the TNT title in like a couple months at Revolution or something. Because if there's someone who can get a good match out of Harley Cameron, it's probably Mercedes.
Okay.
And it's something that
You're for this and not the MJF Jeff Jarrett stuff?
character wise, something that Mercedes can like sink her teeth into. Because like ever since the what's her who's the big girl that was her bodyguard that just left and never came back?
Oh, Camille?
Yeah, after Camille left, I mean Mercedes just like having matches for the sake of matches. Like the Chris Chandler matches have been good, not exactly setting the world on fire with the storyline.
Mm. Mm-mm.
Yep, and that's your AW women's talk for the week.
Hope beat.
Hell of a name battle here with Cope defeating Pac in the main event of 2025 AEW. We got Adrian Neville taking on Edge. So there you go. Cope gets the win, and then we get a beatdown angle with the Death Riders. Death Riders killed the Rock and Roll Express after leaving them hostage for apparently like a couple weeks now. Um, so yeah, we're definitely getting Cope and Moxley, which I think maybe Cope and Moxley is probably the more likely main event for Grand Slam, especially if it's going to be on TV. It's going to be a more wider audience with the NBA lead in. So yeah, they're doing this.
All right. Okay. We're gonna go into Saturday night's main event predictions, but before we get there, we are going to hear Marlee's thoughts on Saturday night's main event.
We've got Saturday night's main event coming up this Saturday, January 25th, which is ironically the same day as Oasis Pro's first show of the year, Dreams. So support both if you can. Saturday night's main event will be streaming on Peacock. Oasis Pro will be streaming on YouTube and also Berkeley Community Media on television if you're in the area. Get the dual screens going, have SNME on one screen, have Oasis Pro on another, and you got your Saturday night set. But it's shaping up to be an interesting one. We've got Gunther versus Jey Uso, Braun Breaker versus Sheamus, Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu, and Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax. Now, to me personally, the storylines going into it don't make sense because these kind of one-off pay-per-views, it's weird to me when they kind of abandon what they've already got going on for I'm not saying Saturday night's main event is a one-off show, but for the sake of context, they abandon the main events or the main storylines for a one-off show. Like Crown Jewel would be another example. But at the same time, it does, even though abandoning the main storylines is kind of annoying, it's nice to see some fresh matchups, something new, something fresh. I just hate that it feels like it was all thrown together last minute. That's the only downside I have with this. But Gunther and Jey Uso, as much as I am behind Jey Uso, I am still in the boat of people who I don't think anybody's losing their titles until WrestleMania. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The only exception I can really see is Cody dropping the title to Kevin so we can get Kevin and Sammy at WrestleMania, but at the end of the day, I don't think anybody's dropping their titles until we actually enter WrestleMania season. Like once the Royal Rumble's done. I wouldn't say until Elimination Chamber's done, because Elimination Chamber is on the road to WrestleMania, but I don't know. I see Gunther winning this. I don't see him dropping the title until Mania, unless they decide to bite the bullet and put the title on Jey and give him his singles Mania moment, which is something I wouldn't be opposed to, but logistically, in terms of what we're working with now, I think Gunther might retain. Braun Breaker and Sheamus is something that has not made sense to me ever since I saw their face-off at Raw. I was there, and it still didn't make sense to me. Why is Sheamus walking over to Braun Breaker to set up this title? I mean, it does make sense because I believe the Intercontinental title is the only title that Sheamus hasn't won, but I'd rather him do it on the WrestleMania stage instead of like a Saturday night's main event. That's just me. Considering how long he's been with the company, how many titles he's won. Like with Chelsea Green, it was different because it was the finals of the Women's United States title tournament and it was the inaugural title. But Sheamus has been here for a minute. He has not had the Intercontinental title ever. So I feel like that would be better suited for a Mania moment. So I'd rather Braun retain, even though I don't really know what they're doing with him in this reign either. But, All right. Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu. I'm going to be biased and say Jacob Fatu only because there's still so much the universe has not seen Jacob do, and it's crazy. And it would also just be wild to see him put away Braun Strowman because Jacob's a big dude, but there is a hefty size difference between him and Braun. So I would like to see him put Braun away just for shits and giggles. Then I think finally for the match side, we have Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax, which this is the only exception I have to kind of going away from a storyline because Rhea and Liv, they're done. If they do anything else together going forward, it kind of kills their whole storyline. So I do like that Rhea is going after another challenger, but it would make more sense for Nia to have all of this animosity towards Tiffany, unless Nia is being moved to Raw within this like transfer window. That makes sense for Rhea and Nia to go out at it. But storyline wise, it makes sense for her to have this animosity towards Tiffy. But I get, let Tiffany have her moment on SmackDown, let her run the SmackDown division, set her up for Charlotte, because I feel like that's what's happening, that's what's going on. And then we have Kevin and Cody signing the contract for their ladder match at the Royal Rumble with Shawn Michaels overseeing the whole thing. I don't know. I like what they're doing. I just would prefer Kevin and Sammy at Mania, because I don't think we need to see Cody do Mania 3 years in a row. Because the back-to-back Manias, that worked for him, because he won the Royal Rumble, didn't beat Roman that 1 year. Years are not working for me right now. And then the following year, he won the Royal Rumble again, went on to beat Roman again. You don't want to oversaturate that story by giving him another Championship Mania moment. So I'd say drop the title to Kevin, because how long has it... I think the last time Kevin held a major title in WWE that wasn't a mid-card title, I had just graduated high school. That was 10, 11 years ago. So I feel like it's time to put it on him so we can get Kevin and Sammy, because the history with Kevin and Sammy, even beyond WWE, prior to WWE, like, add another notch, add another chapter in their story, but on the WWE side. And plus, it's about time, because Kevin is just now addressing Sammy's role in the bloodline stuff. I feel like Mania would be the place to end that for them, because they had their Mania moment in LA where they won the tag team titles, they beat the Usos. Now to have a Mania moment with each other, that would be kind of poetic, because it's like their first Mania moment together, they were on the same team. To have a Mania moment where they're on the opposing teams, they are great friends just as much as they are great rivals. So I would love to see it, but we'll just have to see how it plays out, because I'm just in that mindset right now of how is this all going to play out as we get to WrestleMania. Then finally, I do have to address the not so small elephant in the room. Personally, if you want to throw CM Punk and Hulk Hogan in a ring together, I would turn my head the other way, because we've all seen that clip. He was the best guy around. What murder?
All right, thank you, Marlee. Ladies and gentlemen, Saturday night's main event. It is going down this Saturday, January 25th, the San Antonio. So the things that we can look forward to are, let's start off with the Women's World Championship match. Rhea Ripley taking on Nia Jax.
Straightforward. I think Rhea wins. Now, maybe there's some chicanery to lead this out to Royal Rumble, but with the two Royal Rumble matches, I don't think we're gonna get too many regular matches in there. So I think you just have Rhea win, and then have Nia go back into the Royal Rumble.
I mean, yeah, simple enough. Makes sense. You're gonna have Jacob Fatu versus Braun Strowman.
Big meaty men, bumping meat. I don't know if Jacob can. I mean, I assume we're probably gonna get a Samoan drop or something, like in terms of like lifting Braun Strowman up.
Yeah, you'll get one of those, and then he'll hit the moon. So I'm so glad to see Jake kind of branching out a little bit, man, and to see the internet talking so happily about my boy. It warms my heart, man.
Haven't done this in a while. This is the Brandon Bet Your House on the finish. Jacob Fatu wins.
There we go. Braun Breaker's defending the Intercontinental Championship against Sheamus. Sheamus getting another crack at becoming a Grand Slam champ.
Yeah, they've been really hammering this idea home of Sheamus never winning the IC title, and it's been years now. I feel like they've been going down this road. I just wonder, is that all they got? So they just give him a title shot and just that's what he says his reasoning for wanting it, and then he just ends up losing again, or do they finally give it to him? I don't think so. I think Braun Breaker wins.
But Sheamus is just having matches, and they're always great. Like they're always hard hitting. I mean, he's doing this every week at his age. It's crazy.
Who's out there doing workouts with Maxine Dupree?
Yeah, come on now. Sheamus, I mean, if he wins that, he would have literally won everything. Everything. Money in the Bank,
He's at
Rumble,
the speed. He's at the speed champion.
King of the Ring. I mean, the mid card titles, the world titles, tag. He would have literally done all.
The disrespect to the speed championship.
Who's the speed champion?
Is it Andrade? Is Andrade the speed champion right now?
Oh, okay, right on, cool.
Was that right? Or you...
I think right. Is Candice LeRae still the woman's one?
No, it's Dragon Lee.
Oh,
damn!
Hey, he's got something.
Good for Dragon Lee. There you go. You know what? I keep sitting here bitching about how Dragon Lee hasn't done anything. Look at that. He's a champion.
Come on now. Nobody else in the LWO is a champ. Oh, hello. Let's talk about the contract signing. San Antonio's favorite son, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, the main event, the showstopper. Is going to be the moderator for the WWE Championship contract signing at the Royal Rumble, the ladder match with American Nightmare Kevin Owens and the Canadian Dream. American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, the Canadian Dream, Kevin Owens.
Yeah, I wonder what the extra detail or incentive that Nick Aldis put in that contract. We'll have to wait and see. You know, just a reason to get Shawn Michaels in front of the hometown crowd. Maybe some physicality. They'll sign a contract. Someone will go through a table. Maybe maybe a super kick will be thrown, and the crowd will be happy.
It is. That'd be tight. And then Gunther and Jey Uso World Heavyweight Championship. This main event, Jey Uso. Is it Yita Mania, brother, or is it Yita Mania Us?
The promo, I mean, Gunther just absolutely tore into poor Jay, calling him a mascot, saying, you know, he's nothing. And I mean, there might be some truth to what Gunther's saying. And then Jay got the physical upper hand at the end of it. And it was so strong that kind of leads me to believe that despite my proclamation that maybe you just go with him because Gunther's not exactly lighting the world on fire, I still think Gunther wins and retains the championship.
And then Jay goes to the Rumble because that's his chance. A lot of people, their only chance is the Royal Rumble right now, and I haven't seen that in quite some time. Very, very interesting. I like it. Like it a lot.
Royal Rumble is loaded, and I think it just comes down to like a Gunther title match defending it feels bigger than a Jey Uso title match of him defending it. Like if he's chasing it, sure, I can see that, but not like defending the title.
I'm sorry, I was muted. Is it Phillip Brandon? No. Will it be like Jeff Hardy? You know, he has that big win and then loses it a month later, kind of like the IC title.
Rey Mysterio.
When did Rey Mysterio lose it a month later?
He lost it like a day later or 2 days later, the same night.
Oh, like an hour? No, I don't think it'd be like that. I mean, should have rated 3 world titles. You're looking for a 4th. Yeah, it's all very interesting to see what's going to happen. See what's going to happen this weekend. Speaking of this weekend, ladies and gentlemen, we got a show for y'all, man. Oasis Pro presents Dreams. You know, celebrate the Chinese New Year, all that. So let's look at this card. Let's see what they got for y'all. You have Journey Fatu versus Starboy Charlie is the main event. You'll see Charisma versus KDK, Brett the Threat versus Michael Richards. Can't Stop Jamal versus Elliot Ray versus Wicked. Illuminate has an open challenge. You got Chima speaking about what he did to THC. And then, of course, the world's freshest tag team, Melanin Mafia. Beatdowns are going to be happening. Oasis Pro Dream, 7 p.m. Gilman Brewery, Saturday. Y'all know what time it is. Come on now. Stop playing with us. Brandon, anything else to add?
No. Saturday night's main event this week. Royal Rumble next week. Oasis this week as well, of course. So, big couple weeks as we head into Mania. And, yeah, it's going to be a good time.
Thank you all so much. As always, be safe and stay dangerous. Yes, sir.
It's the bullet cast, the microphone messiah, Mr. No Days Off. It's the bullet cast, the microphone messiah, Mr. No Days Off. It's the bullet cast, the microphone messiah, Mr. No Days Off.